Well, hello everybody, and top of the morning to ya. It's around 7:30 in the morning in New York City, and it's Sunday morning. Hi, how are ya? And welcome back to Magic and Miracles 2. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles, the original channel, which you may know me from 2.5 years ago, something like this, close to 3 years. And I've been coaching people in SP issues primarily since I realized there was such a demand in that department. I started addressing that issue. I wasn't going to talk about that issue at all in the beginning, but it kind of took a life of its own, for which I'm really grateful, and for all the lovely, darling, adorable people. 99% of you are freaking amazing, I have to say. There's occasional 1% or 0.0001%, they're interesting people, let's just say, just like in life. But other than that, I'm having a great time, and I wanted to thank you for it. So on this channel, we discuss everything else. And I created this channel primarily to help inspire, maybe in business and with money. And this is going to be a success story about money from one of my clients that I just got authorized to share. I'm not going to share names, obviously. It's going to be actually kind of vague on purpose, because I always protect my clients' anonymity. However, I will give you some details that I think will help you tremendously. So before I begin, if you need coaching, all the info is below. I kind of keep it casual on this channel. That's kind of like the flair that I decided to go with. And so we're going to discuss this. Before I begin, the coaching, all the info is below. If you have any questions, just email me. I require that we book the first session first to see for a good match. That's a non-negotiable requirement. You need to sign the coaching agreement as well before even to get to talk to me. So those are the precautions I have to take. Everything is very reasonable. Just read it over, sign it by hand though, and make sure you date it and print your name and scan it and send it back. These days you can scan shit with phones. Like, if I could figure out how to do that, I think anybody can figure out, because I'm technologically not that savvy. Let's just put it this way. So this is a story about my client, success story. And I'm going to give you the moral of the story ahead of time. But I really feel like people, the way that they manifest, and now that I've encountered people off of YouTube and the culture around it, the whole community in quotations, like, really scares the shit out of me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how you guys watch these people. I mean, for the majority of it, it's pure trash. I mean, let's just be honest, because you could tell who is really speaking from experience and who's just reading off notes, right? That is based off of somebody else's work. You can't fake authenticity. So, which is why I was inspired to create the channel, the original channel to begin with. But I feel like there's this rigidity around how people are even taught to manifest, which is really unfortunate. I see this not for nothing, but in my coaching, I really just custom make it for the person. I never impose that they should do something a certain way. We create a way for you specifically based on your preferences, your mama drama panorama, which is what the references towards the things that you went through in a nutshell, kind of making fun of it on purpose, as to, bring down its significance. But essentially, the cookie cut way is so detrimental to you, you don't even understand it. It's a completely different approach I really have the person in mind, whatever's going to resonate with that person, because by now I have an arsenal of these methods exercises and teachings that it's never the same exact coaching. There's a structure, but behind the structure, there's customization. And so the cookie cut way is detrimental exactly for the reasons I just stated, that everybody has their own trauma panorama. What resonates with one person will never resonate with another based on their preferences and drama panorama. So that's the preface of it. And never, you're asking for too little is another problem. So the rigidity of it, that you have to do it this way, you have to jam it into your mind. And another one is asking for way too little. Really, there needs to be a culture of more, it's accessible to you. You don't, you know what I mean? It's not a pipe dream kind of situation. And I feel like precisely for that reason, people who have no business talking about manifestation because they've got nothing to show for it really dilute the quality of credibility that the other people do have based on their experience. Because if you haven't done it, what are you doing talking about it? Like, seriously though, that's fraud. And so they cannot come from experience. But for the majority, there isn't this culture of dream bigger. And here's the story. So my client wanted to essentially manifest what is equivalent to $10,000, 10,000 American dollars. And I said, all right, well, we're doing baby steps. So $10,000 is a healthy goal. And I said, why do you need this? She wanted to pay off some things, owing people money, this and that, some things to take care of. I said, okay, all right, so that's okay with me. Let's manifest the $10,000. And, I instructed her to do certain things where she would go through this exercise in order to create this powerful energy that will attract this $10,000. Now, I teach energy work in my coaching, so this is what the reference is towards. But I obviously can't go into details for two reasons. It's part of my coaching, and as I already have said, it's custom made to the person. Essentially, she created that energy and mentally spent the money. Okay, I think it's important, yes, to go towards the end and ultimately enjoy it. Here's the thing though, because everything works with your energy. If you're really not satisfied with what you're asking for, the universe has this genius way of redirecting you towards a higher ground. It's always universe does have a culture of, hey, bitch, dream bigger, will ya? What is this? What is $10,000 right now? Okay, that's whatever, peanuts, right? But for the person, it could be challenging, which is why the baby steps. But the universe is always so genius, as I said, as to redirect you to a higher ground, because internally your higher self, your inner self, whatever you want to call it, is not fucking satisfied with bare minimum. It's not. If you feel shitty about money, it's because you're not allowing yourself to really accept that, it could be different. And I don't have to just cover my bills. I can actually enjoy the money. And my client obviously was having challenges with money. And this is part of discussion why we decided to manifest this. So bottom line was, I ended up finding out in sessions that she wasn't actually really excited about the 10 grand. Nevertheless, she continued. And I was like, fine. And she got the sign. That was the other thing. She got the sign that this money was going to show up for her. She has her own, again, custom sign that we created, blah, blah, blah. She picked out everything. You always kind of like are, the centerpiece of my coaching. So you rule the world in that sense during that period of time that you're in coaching with me. So she saw the sign, and that's kind of like her ultimate confirmation that it's going to go her way. And I was like, brilliant, that's fantastic, celebrate, So she ends up stumbling upon I don't remember what it was, but essentially somehow she found out that she was pre-approved for a loan. Okay. So, and the loan amount that she was pre-approved for was not 10,000. It was less. All right. It wasn't considerably less. Maybe it was just like 8,500 or something like that. And she said, I went ahead. I was so excited to see that because I feel like this is the answer. I was like, no, it's not. It's not $10,000. So well, I went ahead and I, I think they will approve me because it looks pretty good. I said, you know what? If they approve you, that's fantastic. I hope you get this money. But I want you. I don't want you to settle, is what I said. Okay, because clearly you were asking for more. And that's not even everything. But now, all right, we're going to go, and we just agreed, all right, go with the 8,500. Maybe the other 1,500 will show up some other way. At the same time, though, inside of me, the coach in me was like, this is a loan, okay? We need like actual cash here, why go with a loan? But because I'm very gentle with my clients, I'm like, yeah, go for it, do whatever and bring back what you learned, okay, in this process. So everything went well for some time with that application until it didn't. And it was just like resistance all the way. We didn't talk about it again. I just let it go, and I was just assuming she was going to give me the good news. And they kept asking for this and for that. Da, da, da. Essentially, she did not get approved for that loan. And she was so disappointed and she was so crushed. And I said to her, listen, this is ridiculous. Okay. She said, but I got the sign. I don't understand. I got the sign, and it was a sure deal, and angels, are you letting me down or whatever. And it's like, no, I don't think so. I don't really think the universe is against you. I think you really should examine, why do you think that your consciousness went this route? Okay. And in talking to her, and this is important for a lot of people because SP included, everything included, she ended up we ended up talking about it and discussing it in detail. And it ended up coming out that she was actually very resistant to owing anybody money. And she felt really bad already for owing the people money that she was going to pay this money with off. And now it's more money to be owed. And I was like, well, there it is, my darling. Again, why are you settling? As we said before. So naturally, she could have been approved. There was no reason for her not to be approved. But she wasn't, because she pushed it away herself. And this is why, parenthesis here really quick for the SP people listening in, this is why sometimes you yourself create complications, because you're trying to show yourself something that maybe this is not everything that I want. And I'm not saying even, yes, different versions of SPs, but there are certain people that once they level up, entirely give up on the idea of that SP. In other words, since your expectation level is kind of like a little bit lower right now, shall we say, than it should be, whatever you accepted from that person on that level will seem so ridiculous to you on a higher level that in some cases I've seen, and in no way, shape, or form did I push a person one way or the other, but in some cases, people realize, you know what, I can't see myself with this person. Just too much had gone on, and quite frankly, boundaries were crossed. And from this perspective where I occupy today, who I am today, this does not bode well with me, even to be in the vicinity of a person like that. And I understand, I've been there. Because it's just like, you know what, lesson learned, thank you very much. But I am in a totally different galaxy now, and I see things differently. And I want you to know that this is okay. Never settle in that sense. So that didn't kind of work out. And I said to her, listen, You got the confirmation, stick with it, it'll show up. It'll show up in some other form. And I said to her, why don't you rather manifest something that is actual cash, not a loan, not a this, something that is going to be actually exciting to you, something that will mean growth, right? So not just paying bills, but going a step above, dreaming bigger, and being perhaps like bill free for some time, like have that much money come in that you'd be like set, maybe for a year, a couple years in advance. I don't know. That kind of advancement. Let's just, you have me as a coach. I said to her, like, why don't we just, aim higher a little bit here? So she works for herself, and she develops, technologies and whatever. And there was, an idea in her mind that she could potentially maybe help like a company create something for them to pursue, and that has been in her mind for quite some time. She never really acted on it because people get quite frankly lazy and complacent because it's comfortable in a dysfunction. But here she is needing the money. So she told me about this and wanted, to manifest that basically as a kind of aside, situation. The 10,000 was going to come in, but something to get excited over was a proposition like this, a leveling up of sorts. I said, brilliant, that is fantastic. So let's zero in on this for a second. And in my coaching, I'm very detail oriented, as I've mentioned, and we go through a certain process where we create again the energy. Now, this is very important, and I hope you really listen till the end because this is for your own good. This girl, this woman manifested a contract, okay? A contract with a company, like over a weekend, okay? Over a weekend, manifested a contract for $150,000 because she got excited over money versus dreading the loan and the owing people money. Got excited, took action, did certain things that were discussed. In the physical, you still need to take action. I hate to break it to you. Okay, it's great to visualize. It's great to do. The energy work is very potent, but there's certain things you got to do in the 3D. If you don't take the action in the 3D, there's certain things that just will never happen. I don't know how else to say it to you. Okay? It's up to you to be totally focused in thought, feeling, and action towards that goal and really be excited by it. So now I'm going from $10,000 to $150,000. That's quite an adjustment. And now she has her, bills paid for like a year for sure in advance. And she's going to be working on something that she really wanted to work on. Now, this is leveling up. This is a way to dream. This is a way to ask for more. Everything else is fucking bullshit. You really are still playing small because you really don't, people just really can't grasp that it is about really being the authentic you. Not trying to fit into the mold, not trying to ask the impossible out of yourself by being excited something that clearly doesn't fucking excite you. Okay, it's kind of like, I don't know, Warren Buffett said in one of the interviews, he said it's kind of like saving up sex for old age. Saving up sex for old age is kind of like, hoping to try something later. How about you dust off those ideas? Those ideas that like collecting dust. It's not just a business idea, let's just say it could be, but an idea to take action on something or create something. Or, it's mostly has to do with business, I will agree. But to dust off an idea off of something being impossible for you. And just settling for very little, and in the process driving yourself crazy with affirmations and God knows what other fucking stupid techniques they teach out there. It's a lot easier than you realize. Just allow yourself to fly. And your inspiration, it will take you there completely. And I already discussed this on this channel, and certainly discuss it on Magic and Miracles, the original channel. Authenticity is the goal that you seek in every aspect of your life. Whether that be money, ideas, career, your marriage, the person you're choosing, etc., etc. Being authentic is like having an ultra speedy highway above everybody else. It's another frequency. Most people, I should say, it's another frequency where the cars, they just go faster. It's not the minutia of shit. It's just like, this is what inspires me. And so when you playing the game on that level, be prepared to be amazed and dazzled. It's not just the 10 grand, it's the 150 grand. How about $1 million? How about 2? How about 10? How about 100? It just never stops. So get excited. If you're stagnant, you're not excited about it. Maybe you're not excited about that sum of money you're trying to manage. Maybe you're not excited. Maybe you're not really excited about that person, but you're telling yourself that you are because X, Y, and Z, some kind of a drama, trauma, panorama that bonds you to think that this is the person for you. It could be. I don't know your story. You know your story. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. If you need coaching, again, all the info is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.